A happy holidays to all. This is, I don't know, I guess it's the beginning of our holiday season episodes, right? Because this is the beginning, first episode in December, right? I think that's right. So, so we should drink to that. Yes, I am wearing a Grinch sweatshirt. There's nothing tiki about it other than I think the Grinch is somewhat tiki. I don't know why. The Grinch, Dr. Seuss, anything along those lines. It's just escapism, and that's what tiki's about. So in order to escape, we're going to escape to the far Pacific, and we are going to be drinking some Philippine rum. So this is the Tanduy rum. So Tanduy is, wow, it's so unprepared this evening. I'm so sorry. Tanduy is a Philippine rum. Tanduy is also the largest rum manufacturer on the planet, beating out Bacardi, who is number 2. And I have not had Filipino rum. Well, I have not had Tanduy. Tanduy. I don't even know how it's pronounced at all until I bought this bottle while we were at Thanksgiving, and we opened it last night and had a little bit of it. And so this is medium oak-aged rum, aged 16 years, and a traditional oak-aged rum, aged 5 years, and then they are blended together and matured. So this is probably primarily a 5-year rum, with some bit of the 16 added into it. And oh my gosh, we're getting a special guest star. We're getting the Doorly Kitty. Hi, Doorly Kitty. Hello, sweetie. Ah, no! Get your fingers away from me, Dad. You smell like rum. She's like, what are you doing?
Making our wave.
Oh, you're going to make her wave? Okay. Does she want some rum? Probably not. Do you want some rum?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a morning.
We have a Christmas tree.
We do. It's in the garage.
And Pooch.
We didn't put water in the bucket.
You're right. We have to go do that.
That's...
Pooch has started Christmas shopping before December 20th this year.
I started Christmas shopping in November.
But
I have
foot in store.
Foot in store, yes.
Foot in store.
And we have stocking stuffers and stuff for people and things.
Yeah.
We have little things, right?
Because last year.
Yeah. Last year was yes,
Wasn't, so.
yeah. So we're going to take it a little easier this Christmas. At least that is the plan. And we're going to be a little more relaxed this year. Going to take some time off from work. Going to enjoy the holiday season. And
Better today.
Is it better today?
I am also in a better headspace today.
Yes, because you were.
I was Quarantiki. I was being hostess.
Right, and so we were having people over, and it was a thing. We were playing games. It was fun, but it's
yeah. I was hostess.
She was in hostess mode. And
Which is like, here, drink this rum, and I'm like,
what? Right. So we're in hostess mode yesterday, but we're still in weird holiday mode because.
Can you see?
Because
I don't have the mic on.
You don't have your mic on? Do I have mine on?
Yeah.
I have mine on. Okay.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I would have to move. Yes, there's a glowing light in the back.
Can you see that glowing light in the back?
That is an opal ice machine, and that produces opal ice, which is the wondrous pebble ice that we're going to be using some of tonight. At least that's my plan.
I realized that there was a straight line, and you might be able to see it from camera.
Right. So we're
because I have the best holly ever.
Yes. Here's to all those people that are having that are either having or going to have a rough holiday. Anne, David and Chris.
Anne.
Other Anne? I said Anne.
Hickson.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I said Anne. And then Dave.
I heard and.
Oh.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry.
Yep.
Space.
So here's to you. No, I don't recommend, if your holiday is particularly hard this year, self-medicating with rum, but we'll do it for you. How's that?
We can be your designated drinker. I did have to have a designated drinker last week, and I do appreciate Helen
stepping up to do that. So
this week, I get to drink.
We have had at least 2, if not 3 groups of friends run over to Europe. 4 groups of friends We've had a bunch of
Comments.
to get started on something because it needs to sit while we're discussing and having other drinking things go on. So I was saying we've had a number of people that have gone to Europe this year, and everybody that has gone to Europe this year, well, not everybody, but a number of people have talked about the wondrous Christmas markets that exist. And every time somebody mentions the Christmas markets, they also happen to mention Glühwein. I know, it sounds awful, right? Glühwein, right? It's GlwEin, something like that. It's German. Essentially, it means mulled wine. And doing a little bit of research, little, tiny, itty-bitty bit of research, in the sense of I hopped online and looked up a few articles, that sense of research, I discovered that Glühwein is, in fact, mulled wine. That's all it is. It just is. It's mulled wine. And so we're going to do a mulled wine for you this evening.
It literally translates to glow wine because that's how you feel after you've been drinking.
Right, but it's mulled. So what does mulled mean? Mulled means you put it over heat, you put some spices in it and some fruit in it to sweeten it up, maybe some sugar, and there you go. It's a warm wine with Christmas spices and citrus in it. So what we have over here, which I'm not sure if you can see or not, probably not, is an induction hot pad. Hot pad, heat plate, induction heat plate. It doesn't produce heat, but you know what I mean. So we're going to fire this guy up, right? Yep. And then we are going to grab ourselves a bottle of wine. Now, wine for this can be pretty much anything. You want it to be red. You don't want it to be too heavily tannic, and you do not want it to be over about 12% by volume alcohol. So be a little careful on what wines you're choosing. We have a cabinet full of white wines and very little red wines, and the red wines that we do have, they tend to be kind of special, so I didn't want to mess with anything too impressive. So the one thing that I could find on our shelves that would fit the bill is this Milton Park Shiraz, South Australia, 2016. There's nothing particularly German about this wine, and that's fine because we're just mulling it, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pour this whole thing, or whatever portion of this will actually fit into, really.
Elizabeth agrees with the translation.
Yep, glow wine.
Yeah, I grew up with it called glug, which is the Swedish name for it. Elizabeth says, why the ABV cap on the wine?
So here's my feeling on the ABV cap on that, is that mulled wine isn't supposed to be a really high potency beverage, and there's an issue with you're going to cook off some of the alcohol, but if you don't have that alcohol and flavor balance just right, it's going to be kind of nasty to you. So the suggestion is, and in multiple places that I've read, is not to go above like 12.5%, 13%. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour the wine in. Done. Step one, done. Step two, we are going to add spices to this. And what kind of spices? Not just any spices. You want this to be sort of Christmas spices. And yes, I've done it again. It doesn't just apply to bottles. Apparently it also applies to bags. Open the blasted thing before the show and do not stab yourself with a knife. Okay, so the other nice thing about mulled...
Ooh. Keith says Glühwein was in his Duolingo vocabulary.
Oh, and it meant glow wine.
So, and Matt says something was purchased for Lovecraft cocktails at a Christmas market this year.
Ooh. Color me intrigued. So I'm going to throw a bunch of cinnamon sticks in there. We're going to kick the temperature up on this. Come in. Hello. On temperature. Right. So what are we putting in here? Well, we're going to put in some cinnamon. We're going to put in some cloves. This should all be whole spices, because if you put in ground spices, they will cause this to be cloudy and mealy and gritty and nasty. Also, one of the unusual aspects of Glühwein, as opposed to other mulled wines, is they tend to use cardamom in the wine as a mulling spice. And I don't normally think of cardamom as a mulling spice, but whatever. So we're going to do that. So there's some cardamom, there's some cinnamon, we've got the other thing, whatever that was, cloves. Cloves are in there, and what else do we have in here? We've got a bunch of things. I could, let's see, if we go through the little jar of spices that we have here. Oh, is there star anise still left in here? There's no star anise left in here. Oh no. Oof, I'm out of star anise. Oh, that's bad. I have a little bit of nutmeg, so that goes in there. No, I don't have any more star anise at all. There's none in the house.
Oh no.
So we're going to have to rectify that. Hello, Pensies. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay. So there's our spices. There should be something else in there. Oh, right, fruit. So I was told by Star that it is not mulled wine unless there are apples in it. Okay, well, then what we're going to do, you didn't want to watch me slice up fruit on this show, so I went ahead and cut it up ahead of time. So there's some apple slices are going to go in there. This is one whole apple sliced.
Elizabeth says, cardamom is my secret ingredient in the apple cobbler. Makes sense as a mulling spice.
And then we have a whole orange sliced up, and that's going to go in here. And yeah, this gets pretty thick, actually, in terms of all of the fruit and spices. And then I'm going to add just a little bit for some tang. We're going to take the zest of one lemon and one lime, and that's going to go in there as well. I'm going to take a spoon. We're going to stir this. Now, what you want to do is bring this to temperature, and that temperature is going to be just slightly below boiling. You do not want it to boil, because you don't want to boil off the alcohol, because wine, if you've ever just full up boiled wine, it's pretty nasty, so you don't want to do that. All right, there we go. So there is our mulled wine working on coming up to temperature. I know what you're saying, Pooch, there's supposed to be sweetener in there, and there is no sweetener in here. You are absolutely correct. For whatever reason, and I don't pretend to understand the science behind it, maybe because they don't want caramelization of any sort, all of the recipes that I've seen say once you've brought this up to temperature, so just under boiling, and let it simmer for a few moments, what you want to do is remove it from the heat. Great, we got an induction plate here, so that's really easy to do. We just turn it off and then add some sugar to it. And what are we going to do for sugar? Well, we're going to use two different types of sugar for this. We are going to use our ginger syrup. I know it's bulk flavored syrup, but we're going to use it anyway. And because I have overwhelmingly large amounts of it, we're going to use some of the hibiscus tea syrup. Now, I know what you're saying, hibiscus tea, that can't possibly be part of a standard recipe for Glühwein. It's not, but it is a standard portion of a recipe for Kinderpunsch, which is nothing more than mulled wine without the wine. In other words, it's fruit juices that are mulled, and they usually add some hibiscus syrup or hibiscus tea syrup to that as the base instead of the alcohol in order to form a punch that is suitable for the youngins. So there you go. Now I'm going to do one other thing for this. Ooh, I love induction hot plates because this thing's already getting to the point where we are seeing some steam come off of it. Can you see any of the steam come off of it? You can. You're seeing also a little bit of the incense. But if I move the incense over here, like such, and you can still see wisps of steam. Yep, that's coming off of our wine. Right? So just stir this a little more. What I'm trying to do is make sure that I don't have spices that are sitting on top of the fruit in here. I want those spices actually into into the wine. All right. So we're going to add these once this comes off the heat. So that's going to hold up for a few moments while we move on to other things.
We have some comments. Elizabeth, this is leading me to feel as though every mulled wine I've ever had is not as snazzy as it could have or should have been. Amanda, same here. I've done it a couple times in a slow cooker. So I have to tell my family's...
You have to tell your family's story.
My family's glug.
So the other secret that I'm going to do here is I'm going to kick this up a bit by adding some bitters to it, because I think that's just a thing that needs to be done to this. Chief amongst those is probably going to be the allspice bitters, because that.
So my mom, the day after Thanksgiving, because we were in Kansas and by that time there was snow.
I'm going to step off screen.
Okay. Would start the mulled wine, and it would be mulled wine and brandy and spices and apples and such. And it would sit on the back of the stove, kind of gurgling, not gurgling, but simmering, until
keep an eye on that for me.
New Year's. And if there was any left New Year's, we had to drink it. All of it. That was New Year's Eve, sorry. But whenever you would come in from the snow, you'd get a little cup of it, and it would warm you up. Or you'd get a thermos to go shovel the driveway and stuff. So I grew up from about the time I was 10 with it simmering on the stove from Thanksgiving to New Year's. So,
all right, I need to scoot you over.
Story.
So induction hot plates get very hot very quickly, or transfer a lot of heat very quickly. And we are rapidly approaching the point at which this is, you can't smell this, but it's really yummy smelling. Yum. Yep, we're starting to get just a little bit of bubbles. I can actually cut this down to like 130 if I wanted to. Yeah, those are the two primary settings, 130 and 260. I am getting some rapid bubbling, so we're just going to turn this off. Off. There we go. Poof. It is off. All right, now we're going to add...
Elizabeth, my mom's glug did get chopped off every once in a while once it got back to about halfway.
Can you see this steaming? You should be able to see this steaming. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. I don't know. All right. Anyway, so now we're going to add some sweetener to this. And I am going to use my nifty new...
Yes, you can see the steam.
Yeah, so this is a new cocktail jigger for me. It is sort of a black gray, which distinguishes it from my other jiggers. The nifty thing about this, and the reason I'm going to use it for this particular cider is, it's not cider, drink, is that in addition to having the usual ounce, 3/4 ounce, half ounce, 1/4 ounce markings in it, on the other side it has metric markings on it, so that actually I can use this when using other drink recipes that aren't marked in ounces and don't have to make conversions. But since we're talking Glühwein and we're talking largely a European thing, I thought it would be appropriate to use European measurements, or as it should be stated, the rest of the world measurements as opposed to US measurements. Now, how much sugar are we going to put in here? I don't know. The recipes are kind of silent on that. I think it depends on the house recipe or home recipe. So, first of all, I'm going to go with just 3/4 of an ounce. I'm going to go 3/4 of an ounce of the ginger syrup in here. I don't want the ginger to overpower this, so that's that. I will come back to this if it turns out that we need more ginger in here. And then I think I'm going to go 2 full ounces of the hibiscus tea syrup. You do want this to have some sweetness to it. And the redness of the hibiscus tea is also going to kind of preserve the redness of the wine. All right, so there we have that. Hibiscus tea syrup, right? So induction hot plate. There you go. It's a little warm, but otherwise it's all right. So we're going to put this back here, stir this up. Now, because this is as hot as it is, I'm not going to add any of the bitters yet. We will do that at a later time. Because again, the bitters are high in alcohol, and I don't want them to be any more bitter than they already are.
So
Right.
Gabrielle had a Mozart punch that
Mozart
included
punch.
Malibu rum,
Okay.
and she had another punch that had Bailey's in it.
Bailey's. The Bailey's seems like an odd addition to a punch, mostly because I would be concerned about the Bailey's curdling. Bailey's is a primary ingredient in a lot of really weird shot drinks that require something to curdle. So, I don't know. But
And it's required for coffee during Christmas.
it is, yes, Bailey's is a required element of coffee in Christmas time. So I'm going to take a quick taste of this and see how we're doing. Oh yeah, yeah, that's absolutely terrible. Nobody else needs to have any of that whatsoever. I will have to throw myself upon it and drink the rest of that eventually. Star says no way in heck that's occurring. So all right, that's fine, whatever. So this is going to be the last thing we drink because this will be done at about 8:30 or so. Just let it sit for half an hour with all the spices and the sugar and that sort of thing. And then if you want to correct it with anything else like some vanilla or the bitters or anything else along those lines, you can do that at the end of that. All right, so I got a half an hour to kill before we can start drinking this. And I think that's a fine amount of time where we should focus on doing a Christmas cocktail or two. And if you look up Christmas tiki cocktails, it's a little sad in terms of what you find there. Now, I will freely admit that Christmas is a great time for tiki because, tiki is that escapism, right? So while it's snowing and billowing outside and bitterly cold, it's easy enough to just wander into a tiki bar and have a tropical beverage and feel yourself transported away. But sometimes you don't want to be transported away. You want to still have that sort of Christmassy feeling. I don't think my Christmas tiki mugs are here. Oh no. I think they're...
I'll go get them.
Oh, but wait, I have these. I have rocks glasses. We could use those.
Yeah, you do. Okay.
Yep, we'll do that.
We have to get more when we go to Sippin' Santa this year.
Yeah, so let's make a drink, and then we'll talk about Sippin' Santa. How's that? Sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan to me. Okay, what we're going to do here is a drink that is a riff off of another drink, which is a riff off of another drink that I found online called the Christmas Island. And the primary thing that distinguishes this from other drinks is the inclusion of cranberry juice, which cranberry is a wonderful thing to include, I think, in your cocktails around Christmas time, just because of that reddish color. And, whoa, we have a comment. Yikes.
Matt stuck with Glühwein and was never disappointed. He says, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, nothing curdles at Stowburn Castle. Strongburn.
Nothing curdles at Strongburg Castle. Yeah. That probably means something. I don't know what, though.
No idea.
All right, so we're going to make the Christmas Island. And yes, I'm going to use Ocean Spray cranberry juice. This is 100% juice. It's not a cranberry cocktail. It is not cran, apricot, guava, mango, durian drink or anything along those lines. It's just 100% cranberry juice. So one of these cocktails would take 3/4 of an ounce. I'm going to go ahead and do two of them, so that's 1.5 ounces. So 1.5 ounces is, there's 3/4. Ding, ding. Time to fight. Oh, and 3/4. All right. Then we need some form of sugary syrup for this. And I thought what I might do is reach for not that. Sorry, the thing that I thought was was my honey syrup actually says Montenegro on it, which means it's an Amaro, and that would have been a really bad thing. So we're going to go with a full ounce. You wouldn't think that the honey would be hard to get into. a full ounce, because I'm doing 2 drinks, right? So it's a half ounce of honey syrup. Again, this is a mix of honey and water. So normally a half ounce for 1 cocktail, so a full ounce there. And then it wants just a dash, just a dash of allspice dram. And I say to that, fa upon your one little dash of allspice dram. What I have here is a special mixture of various ingredients that I have thrown together in the greatest tradition of tiki cocktails, where you don't tell people what's in your contents. Okay, if you really want to know, it's written on the side of the bottle so that I don't forget. So 1 dash, so we're going to go 2 dashes of this. There's 1 dash and 2 dashes, right? So there's 2 dashes of the special super secret ingredient, which in fact does have allspice dram in it. So we're not going too far off the realm here. And then the recipe calls for 1.5 ounces of rum. So that means we've got 3 ounces of rum to play with here, and it says light rum. Aw, light rum. I have no idea what they mean by light rum, so I'm just going to take it upon myself to go and ignore that, pretty much. That's what we're going to do. We're going to totally ignore the fact that they say light rum. And I'm going to look over here at all the various rums that we have handy. And what is this? This is Bacardi 10. Bacardi 10's a light rum, right? It's column still, clean rum, right? There's no funk to this.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go full ounce of that. All right, there you go, full ounce, right there. And then, you know what goes well with a really clean rum is a Demerara rum.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we just got a new bottle of this, so I think we need to use up some of this.
Oh, good point.
Right?
Good
Yep.
point.
Yep. So I'm not sure how much this qualifies as a light rum, given that it clocks in at 151 ABV.
No.
It's
Proof.
proof, right? 75.5%. Sorry.
It's not 151 ABV.
Super saturated with alcohol, guaranteed only to kill you twice. All right, so there's a full ounce of that. I'm just going to have to drink that, aren't I? Yep. You know what else is a light rum?
No. What else is a light rum?
Ray and Nephew is light in color.
This is light.
Oh, that is light.
This is a rum agricole. This is La Favorite, a rum agricole, an unaged rum agricole. So we're going to go an ounce of this. Give us 3 total ounces, because you're only supposed to do 1.5 ounces for this particular cocktail. Ta-da. There we go. Those flavors can all sit and meld together for a few moments while we work up a garnish. You like that? A garnish. Ta-da. What have we got here for a garnish? Well, we have cranberries, so that seems okay. And we have mint. Cranberries and mint. That seems like an okay thing to do. Do I want to put the mint in there? No, I think what I want to do is just take a cocktail pick, which are no longer here. I'm still not used to where I have things on my bar in the new setup. Cocktail picks are over here. And we are going to do, these pretty picks. These are from Dizzy Diva. Star, do you want to show these off?
I love Dizzy Diva.
Show those off. Oh, and I'm sorry, I absolutely neglected last time we were doing a broadcast. Whoa, those are all fuzzy.
Let me,
There you go. Ta-da! Yay, those are pretty. Yep, those are awesome. I neglected last time to mention one of our favorite places on the planet that we usually mention, but didn't. We were on the travel last time, and as a consequence, we weren't carrying any of their merchandise with us, because their merchandise is primarily What? It's primarily glass
Glass
straws. And so we did not mention Surfside sips, and I feel vaguely terrible about
You
not
do
doing
not
it.
need to mention them.
I know I don't have to
every
mention them every time, but it just feels like, oh, darn it, I should have mentioned them. They've been very good to us. We've been very good to them. Our friends are being very good to them as well. So that's all very, very nice. Keep supporting Surfside Sips. They make great straws. Dizzy Diva makes all sorts of different things for cocktails. Her picks are wonderful, and she has an online store that Star is going to link to, and you can get picks made. You can get picks made. Yeah, there you go. There doesn't have to be anything more to that, Pooch, than picks can be made for you. And if you come up with a brilliant idea, she'll probably make one for you, because that's kind of the... Why is there this bottle? I don't know. That goes away, that goes away, that goes over here. Right? Okie dokie. These are just going to go in here and in here. And I wanted mint in there, right? I wanted mint. Okay. So we're just going to we're going to pull some mint leaves off of here, and we're just going to drop them in like so. Ta-da. And then we're going to do the same with these guys. And if you kind of crumple them up just a bit as you put them in, you'll get some of the bruising effect. You don't want it, we don't want this to be overpowered by the mint, but we do want some mint in there. And this is just sitting there, being a good boy, not a problem. You know, I wonder, these guys are probably of the right metal where I could put them on the induction. I may have to play around with that at some point. See what we can do there. Oh, great! This is my protective measure for my
For your new computer.
new computer. So I
put on.
Yep. So we're gonna do that. There we go. So totally prepared, aren't we? All right. So that comes off. We are going to fill these with some ice. I need a scoop. I had a scoop. Here's a scoop. And the ice that we're going to use is pebble ice because we can. All right, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put that just like that. And then we're going to go this. And yes, the recipe does call for doing this over clean ice. So I'm going to do that. Now I used a blender tin because I want to blend this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. 1 scoop. And just a little bit more. Oh wait, we're doing 2. This is a double, isn't it? Oh yeah, gotta do that. Also, good idea to just throw in some bigger cubes as agitator cubes. It's a trick that Smuggler's Cove in San Francisco uses. All right, do that. And then we're going to stick this under here. Turn that on. All right, there we go. Nice and frothy and blended. And for this cocktail, they actually want a little bit of ginger flavor to it, so they asked to add some ginger ale to this. But guess what? My wife doesn't like ginger ale. So as a consequence, what we're going to do is we're going to add some 7-Up. And they asked for 2 ounces per cocktail. So there's 2. And there's 2. And much like shaking, you do not want to stick this on the blender with the beverage, great, with the carbonated beverage in it. Otherwise, it will just go everywhere, and that would be bad. But you can, after you've done this, just take this, mix that just a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to try this. Yeah, I think that qualifies as a Christmas beverage. I think that's going to be quite nice, actually. All right, so now we're going to just pour this in here. Like such. And then we're going to do this. And look at that, there's even some left. Yay. Would you like a straw in this?
I would.
Okay, there's the Dunder. This is our friend Dunder. This is the Mr. Cat. He is a very good Dunder. He's not necessarily very good, but he is a very good Dunder.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's picking up some raven habits.
Yes. Not habits from our friends that are named Raven, because we have a couple of
We do,
those.
we do.
No, he's picking up Raven/Crow habits of like finding
Shiny
things and running off with them, or finding shiny things and then trying to give them to us,
Like earrings and bracelets.
which is very strange because he's trying to give me my earrings and bracelets and stuff, and
Yeah.
it just seems very strange to me. So here's to happy holidays. Hope you like this, hon. Kind of tart.
Kind of tart.
Yeah, that's pretty tasty. I think it needs bitters.
Yeah.
What would you like? Burlesque? Plum? Sugar plums? Isn't that... And so we have plum bitters. Jeez. In my defense, I did not know I was going to be opening the plum bitters this evening. And I apparently am still not going to be opening. There we go. There we go. Got it. Once again, open the frickin' bottle before the show. Make sure. Okay, this is going to come off in tiny little pieces. We run a tight ship here, totally professional.
Right.
Right. Okay. Here, dispose of that for me. Shaky, shaky. Two?
Two.
Two. We will go 2 dashes of plum bitters. Maybe. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to do this because I want a little more plum bitters. And
You knock ice onto the induction.
Yep, which is still slightly warm, I can tell, because it's melting the ice. Which is very strange because there shouldn't be any, I mean, there should be residual heat from this pot, but there shouldn't be any residual heat up here. And there's not on that burner, but there is where this was sitting. That's why
Where
that
the
is.
pot was.
Yep.
Yes, plum.
Plum, that worked?
Yep.
Because sugar plum. I should think of that, right? It's Christmas season. We want
So
sugar
this
plum.
is Fee Brothers.
Right?
Plum
Sugar.
bitters.
It's not sugar plum bitters, but it's plum
Right.
bitters, right? I'm not sure what a sugar plum is.
I don't know.
Is it a plum that's sweet?
I don't know.
Is it a canned plum?
Is it a plum that you've rolled in sugar?
It could be. I don't know. Does anybody know what a sugar plum
What is a
is
sugar
as
plum?
opposed to just a regular plum? Oh, yeah. Don't. So I maybe went a dash too far on mine.
Ah.
So I have a little more plum than I probably want there. I could see where the ginger ale would be quite good. But I think the 7-Up is a little more approachable for people that aren't particularly big fans of ginger. So there we go. So what do we think about this drink? The agricole rum actually comes through. I think there's a very definite sort of grassy note to this that is indicative of the agricole rum. The backbone of the Hamilton's 151 is really remarkably nice. I probably should not have used the Bacardi 10. I could have used something a little more kind of generic, because all it's there is providing a little bit of structure to the cocktail. It's not really providing a whole lot of flavor or taste to it. We're not getting a lot of the mint, or at least I'm not. But I think if I muddled it, we might get too much mint. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. Maybe the mint is unnecessary, or maybe the more traditional route would be appropriate. Here is mint. There is spanking. Stick the mint in there like that. So this is good. This little Christmas cocktail thing. It's nice and light and refreshing. That Glühwein. Oh, that's rockin'. And that's without any sugar in it. It's totally rockin'. delightful. I'm going to drink a little more Tandoori because I actually found it quite tasty. I thought about using it in this cocktail. I thought about instead of using the 3 different kinds of rum, that I would be more traditional and just use a single rum with that. I can't say it's traditional. This is a made-up drink. It's probably dates all the way back to like 2006 or something like that. It's just a Christmassy, cocktail-y thing. Principally because of the cranberries in it. That's a holiday drink. I actually think the mint adds a lot to this drink. Sticking the mint in it, and just in order to take a drink, you've got to stick your nose in the mint. It's really, you wouldn't think that it's that big a deal, but so much of our sense of taste is what we're smelling that when you have the big sprig of mint sitting on top, it just changes the flavor of the drink. It just does. Yep, that's tasty. I kind of wonder what it would be like without the 7-Up. The 7-Up lengthens it a bit and doesn't make it quite as strong. I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing. Although I put 151 in it, so it's probably a good thing that we lengthened it out some. How are we doing on the timing here? I cannot tell. Oh, we've got like 5 minutes before this guy is done. So what could we do in 5 minutes? All right. We're going to do this. Do this. Ta-da. And we're going to take some mint leaves. Do I know what I'm doing? No, not a clue. We're just going to experiment here. Take that. And some more mint leaves, like such. Throw that out. That goes here. Sure, why not? Let's do a combination of these two things. What do you think? I'm going to take this, and I'm going to add a couple of cardamom pods to that. Oh, that smells delightful. Cardamom, good. All right, so that goes there. Cranberries, sure, why not? A little cranberry, right, like such. And I'm going to what did I do with that? What did I do with it? Oh no. It's around here somewhere. Where are my sweeteners? They're my sweeteners. Let's not do the ginger. Let's just pour a little of this in here. Not even a half ounce there. And then we're going to grab, not that. That's not a muddler. This is a sharpening steel. That does not work as a muddler. Well, I mean, I guess it could. You could do it this way. That would be all right. So we're going to take this, and we're just going to muddle that in here. All right. You do want to break up the cardamom pods just a little bit. There you go. Right. So there's our mushy base. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to go a full ounce of lime juice. Rock on. And I'm going to go with half an ounce back of this, right? Sure, yeah. This is the hibiscus tea syrup, in case you were wondering. You could probably tell that because of the bright, vibrant color. I'm aiming for 3/4 of an ounce. I'm assuming I put close to a 1/4 ounce in there originally to muddle it. I do that. I'm going to add some bitters to this. Do I want to just do that? No, I want something bright. I don't want... So I'm going to go with the burlesque. Apparently I want the burlesque bitters in something this evening. We're going to go 2 dashes. There's 1. There's 2. And because I like them, we're going to go with some peach bitters as well. 2 dashes of peach bitters. And then I need 2 ounces of rum. Why not? We're featuring Tandoori this evening. Stars like you're using that rum on this cocktail? Yes.
Whatever.
Yes, I am. She's like, I don't care. It's good rum. You're not using the Samaroli to make a daiquiri-esque cocktail, so what do I care? Besides, you get to drink some of this, right?
Yeah.
That's the plan.
You can use the Samaroli. I'm just not buying you more if you use it up.
So if I end up using Samaroli rum to make daiquiris, she's not going to buy me any more Samaroli rum. That kind of makes sense. All right, I'm going to lid this up. What is this? This is basically a daiquiri recipe with some minor changes to it. Well, additions, not changes. There we go. That seems all good. We need coops. Coop! That goes there. This goes over here. Ta-da! Ta-da. We're going to take a spritzer out. This spritzer does not contain absinthe. It contains overproof Jamaican rum. So we do that. The secret ingredient. We need, what do we need? We need one of these. I'm going to double strain this. Do I have a strainer over here? I do. I have a strainer over here. Used it earlier just for some lime juice, so I think it'll be fine. There. I don't know how much is actually in here. Well, I'm getting better at doing the equal proportions thing. Yes, sadly I had to run down here, or maybe not so sadly. I had to run down here before the Miami-San Francisco game was over. There's a minor bet relying on that game, and I think when I left it, I was pretty sure that I was going to end up losing that bet. That San Francisco probably won that game, probably handily, and as a consequence, I'm going to owe somebody dinner. That's all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to just drop a cranberry in.
You definitely owe him dinner.
Okay. Cranberries float, isn't that nice? So that looks all pretty and nice. And so now we have this sort of daiquiri variation, and I'm going to take a sip of this. Star, what do you think?
Looking up your sports ball thing.
My sports ball thing? Every once in a while, you kind of hit it out of the park with something, and things work out. Yeah. So there you go. There's me. There's me playing on the bar.
Oh, that's good.
So what did we do here? We did some cranberries. Yeah, check. We did some mint leaves. Check. We did the hibiscus syrup. Cardamom. The cardamom. Crushed all that together, and then we added a full ounce of lime juice, right? Full ounce of lime juice, and then we did 3/4 of an ounce of sweetener, right? The rest of the 3/4 of an ounce, so half an ounce of the hibiscus tea syrup, and 2 ounces of the Tandoori rum. Yeah.
That's yummy.
This is and the schnapps, the bitters. That was 2 dashes of the peach bitters and 2 dashes of the burlesque bitters. Yep. Now this is quite delightful. This is just a riff on a daiquiri, and man, is that thing tasty! Wow. It has that initial crispness of a daiquiri, but there's some depth there.
There is.
And it evolves, and it's fruity and tasty. I like that. I'm going to have to write that one down.
It's a little more jammy than fruity.
I can see that. Yeah. Jammy. Look at her using words. All right. It's been about a half hour that this thing has been sitting up here. And so we're going to pull this off. And now is the time that we would add our sweetener to this. And, right? Because I haven't added any sweetener to this.
That is my remembrance.
That is my remembrance as well.
I mean, you could take a taste and figure it out.
So apparently the
Dunder has gotten lost on the stairs,
Yes.
not knowing whether he should go up them or down them. There you go. Good boy.
how about a 3/4 of an ounce of the ginger, right? We didn't want it to overpower this. You don't really want this to be overly sweet. Gosh, I hope I didn't add. Maybe I did add the sugar, like right after it came off the heat. Okay, so this will be sweeter than what we were planning on. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It'll still be yummy. And now, what you should do with this is strain it, and then pour it into a bottle and keep it. We're going to actually serve this directly from here, but we are going to, wow, what the heck is that? This looks disgusting. This is funny. So I gotta say, whatever chemical reaction is happening in here, it has transformed the oranges so that the cellular structure that holds the slices of the orange together has disintegrated, and the little internal bits of orange have all broken apart, and so it I mean, I hate to tell you this, but I mean it kind of looks like grubs coming out of an orange. It's not particularly appetizing in the way that it looks. So I'm not going to show it to you because that would be bad. I think we're still okay on the sweetness. We're going to add a little bit of the allspice bitters. This is not a traditional ingredient. We'll go 4 of these. I think 4 dashes of the allspice. And if you wanted to kick this up with actually like some allspice dram, you certainly could. And then I'm going to get super sneaky here, and you can in fact fortify your glue wine or your mulled wines. And I happen to have just a very little bit left of the Pierre Ferrand 1840 cognac, and so we're just going to toss that in there. And I will tell you how much it is. It is 3/4 of an ounce of the Pierre Ferrand cognac.
Yes, you have to strain it, otherwise it's drinking pulp.
Correct. Oh yeah, I mean we wouldn't just pour this into a glass. We would definitely strain it. But whether it goes into a bottle or something beforehand, that we're not going to do. So, geez, sticky. All right, so there we go. We've got some glue wine, some mulled wine. Need to find a glass for this. What's an appropriate glass for the mulled wine?
Oh, you didn't bring anything out. I thought you had. But...
No, I brought out the
Right.
the Christmas glasses here, right? So we're just going to do the single rocks glasses, and we're going to be really brave and try and do it this way. I wish I had. Oh wait, maybe I do. Do I have a ladle? There's a punch ladle in the back. Shall I run and get it? I probably should. Let me run and get the punch ladle. Dun dun dun.
Yes.
Ta-da! One punch ladle.
Yes.
She's in my way.
I'm
Okay.
in the way.
All right, there. It's been rinsed. And then we're going to go. Ow!
I'm going to smack into things.
I'm going to smack into things because that's kind of what I do around here, I think. All right. What do you want to do? Yikes. This just, I mean, it looks like something awful from the sea, doesn't it? We're going to see if we can do this. everything is like disintegrated in here. The apple has just completely come apart. Tasty though. All right, there is a nice warm wine for you. And the thing is, you can then store this and just heat it up for yourself at a later time. But you do want to strain it before you do that, because it will continue to disintegrate.
I love scent memories. They are
Some of our most powerful memories.
so awesome.
All right. We doing okay? I mean, the flavors will meld as you let it sit over time, but this should be plenty of time to get it just interacted. All right. Here's to the holidays, to staying warm and staying toasted. Oh, I mean toasty, right? Mm-hmm. Sure, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, that's
a yummy.
That's a yummy. Matt and Gabby, if you were wandering around all day drinking this sort of stuff, and you were wondering why the heck you were intoxicated by the evening, there's no need to wonder. This is quite yummy. And you, of course, you can spruce this up in any number.
He says use a mug.
Use a mug. Well, yeah, but it would have to be warmer for that. And I could warm this back up, but what I would do is I would strain everything out of it, and then I would warm it back up. See, you can do this too, right? There you go. There's your nice warm cider with a little mint and cranberry in it. Stick your nose in that, buddy. Oh, that is delightful. Easy to do. Use up spices that you've got in your cabinet. I will say my cloves are not particularly fresh dried cloves, so you can do that. Neither is my cardamom.
Mom did buy all new spices every January.
Your mom bought all new spices in January? Is that what you're saying?
So she used them all up in the glog.
In the glog, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There was more rhyme to her reason, or more reason to her rhyme, or something along those lines. So there we go. We've done a mulled wine. We have done the Christmas Island cocktail with cranberry.
Oh, we have a chemist biology question.
And we have a daiquiri thing. We have a chemistry biology question. Uh-oh.
Does alcohol go into your body more quickly if it's warm?
I wouldn't think that there would be...
Well, I mean, into your body. If it's cold, you're going to drink more of it. But, I mean, as far as alcohol absorption...
As far as I know, and clearly I have not done any empirical studies on this, but I've also not read of any empirical studies on this. I don't think it would matter whether it is warm or cold when it goes into your body, as far as how it is metabolized. I don't know. But that would be my guess, is that it just doesn't matter. Aside from, as Star says, much more impactful is how much of it you drink, and that depends more on the taste than its temperature. All right, folks.
So your body absorbs the liquids at body temperature, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, if you're drinking enough of it to where it's changing your body temperature, you're probably dead anyway. All right, on that cheery note, we should say happy holidays. Merry whatever you are celebrating around these holidays, whether it is... nope, I'm not even going to start off naming different holidays. So just
all of them.
All of them. Have a happy holiday. And if you don't celebrate holiday season and cheer, have a good time anyway. And trying to not let the rest of us that are celebrating various holiday things get to you, because we're not intending it as a personal insult. We just want to be happy this time of year. All right, that's it. We're going to sign out of here. Talk to you all later. Add a little cognac to your Glühwein and be a happy camper. Good night, all. signing off. If I can find the button that says end live video. Oh, right. I have to keep up the tradition, right? I go off the air by drinking something. Here we go. We're going to hit end and drink.